How's it going, people? Hope you're all doing great today. I think that Red Bull's kicking in.
We got a Red Bull problem right now.
No, I hope you guys are all doing great. So today, before you comment, there's gonna be people who want to, before they even watch the video, comment. How do you steal a lick and make it your own? Now, basically, throughout all these years of playing guitar, that's pretty much what it all is. We're all just like stealing each other's licks and just kind of adding our own spin to it. So these are just simply 3 ideas to take a lick that, maybe someone else is using, and I've chosen to go for licks that are by, Jimmy Page, Zakk Wylde, these more like established guitar players, and just be like, hey, you could take this idea and kind of do this, and it kind of turns it into your own thing. So that's what we're going to be working with. You want tabs for this? That is down below, chilling for you. I have lesson packs and all that stuff available on my website, Skype lessons, all that down below, waiting for you in the description. So let's go, yo. Okay, so before we get going, you guys let me know, does it bother you when I use this guitar if the lights are on the fingerboard or off? Because I know you kind of can't see the dots when it's like this. But I'm just going to roll with it off today. Let me know. I thought it might be kind of distracting. But anyway, so here is the first lick we're going to be doing. A super, super uber common pentatonic lick from, a made famous Jimmy Page, Zakk Wylde. All these guys have used it, Kirk Hammett. And it's like, how do you learn that without just copying that lick? Well, the first tip that I want to give you is take the same sequence, keep everything the same, and we're going to alter the scale a little bit. Now, either put it in a different scale, or what I'm going to do is something I love to do with a pentatonic scale, so that was all out of E minor. I'm going to add the major third, so it's kind of like it makes it dominant. Kind of has that Mixolydian vibe almost to it now. So the initial lick was this, just 15 to 12 to 15 on the low E string. Okay, and then I'm going to go 12 on the A to 15 on the low E, back to 12. So then I simply move down a string, and it's going to go 14, 12, 14, then 12, 14, 12. I'm just going straight through the E minor pentatonic scale. Move down again, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15, 12. So picking on this one's not super crucial because there's so many pull-offs. Now that's the straightforward pentatonic lick. So what I'm doing is all of my minor thirds, and if you're not familiar with what they are, so like all the G notes basically, I'm raising them to G sharps. So I'm turning them all into major thirds. Everything else stays the same, but I'm going to be going like this. Now it kind of has a more unique sound to it. It sounds different, So what I'm doing here is I'm going 16, 12, 16 on the low E. Then I go 12, 16, 12. Then 14, 12, 14, 12, 14. So this part's all the same. Again, this stays almost the same. We're going to go 14, 12, 14. Then you have to go to 13 on the G. So back to 14, back to 13. So that 13 is our major third. So we have... I do a little hand shift here because I want to use my middle to pointer finger. So I go 14, 13, 14, 12, so 14, 12, 15, 12, 15, 12, and then I hit that 16 again just to throw another major third in there, but you can just kind of wrap it up and go to your root if you want to. So now we've kind of taken one idea, and like I said, we completely stole it. We took the sequence that was happening, but now it sounds like something new. Okay, so for the next one, what we're going to be doing is we're going to take the basically the sequence that comes from the No More Tears solo. We're going to do that at the key of E, and if you don't know what it's this, just real slow. Now for this one, I want to keep all the notes the same. We're going to keep we're not using any different notes than what we already have. But what we're going to do is we're going to change our sequence around this time. So instead of this, which is a totally fine one, it sounds great, we're going to be going like this. So what I'm doing here, which makes it different, is the initial one is this. It's 15-12 twice on the high, and then 15-12 once on the beat. So now the one I'm altering it to is this. I go 15 pull off 12 on the high, then I go 15 pull off 12 on the B, and I hammer back onto 15, and I go back to 12. So you can see I'm using all the same notes, different sequence. And to me, it definitely has a different sound, you know? Now you could continue that up. You know, these aren't necessarily going to be tabbed, but you could go to box 2. You know, you just do 17, 15. You could combine the boxes. There's with a major third in there. You know, lots of stuff you can do to kind of take one initial idea and use that inspiration in a whole new way. Alright, and the third and final one that I want to do is I want to expand off of the initial idea. So what I'm doing is, I'm sorry, I'm like all congested, so I probably sound all nasally. So we're just gonna say that this is our idea. You know, we'll say that's the lick that we've taken from someone else, and it's like it's cool, but again, I don't want to keep the lick the same. So what I mean by expand is, I mean literally take the lick and expand it quite a bit. So I'm going to take that same sequence, that same idea, which was out of E minor, and I'm going to expand it by using string skipping. So it's going to give me a much more dramatic and just this big arpeggio type sound. So I'm going for this now, which is a very Paul Gilbert inspired kind of thing. But you know, you could obviously tweak this in a lot of different ways to make it not sound like Paul Gilbert. So the initial sequence was just simply 14 pull off 12 on the G, 14 pull off 12 on the D, 14 on the A, 12 hammer on 14 on the D, and then 12 on the G. So and then what I'm changing it to is this. So it's also out of the same scale. I'm not like branching out at all, but I'm using that same idea but expanding it. So I'm going 15 pull off 12 on the high E string. I go 16 pull off 12 on the G, 14 on the D, then I go 12 hammer on 16 on the G, and then 12 on the high E. And let's go ahead and chat about that picking for a minute. So when I do the string skipping one and this one, my picking is the same. I'm going down, 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 up, up. Those pull-offs allow me to do all those downs, and it helps me hop around the strings. That can kind of clean it up if you have a lot of string noise. You could just be crossing those strings. I'm bouncing over the string. And again, this is another one you can kind of move it all over the place. Alright guys, thank you all so much for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed that one, got something out of it. You can check out these videos over here. They're definitely something. This video is one to watch. You know what? This video. Click on that video. You know you want to click on that video. I'm just saying. High five, guys.